Katie Cotton, who led Apple's media strategy for 18 years, dies. I read this this morning as well. She was a big part of the media mastery under Steve Jobs. I believe she only worked for a couple years along with Tim Cook prior to retirement. But Apple has had, one of the most legendary kind of
marketing
relationships
branding.
with media and media strategy. Playing different publications against one another, being incredibly ruthless when it comes to secrecy, and just, playing a big role in the success of the company ultimately, eventually, having this very strong, not marketing, but relationship with media, sort of separate. Famously, I think it was Walt Mossberg talked about some sort of negotiations around exclusives for, you're going to be the first to show it off in Time or a magazine, or maybe the New York Times, or you're going to get an exclusive interview or whatever, and all these kind of maneuvers and stuff. There's an art to it in order to generate these outcomes, generate this hype. This comes directly from Apple. We're deeply saddened by Katie's passing, Apple said in a statement on Monday. She was an extraordinary person, and she made countless contributions over the course of her 2-decade career at Apple. Our thoughts are with her loved ones and everyone who had the opportunity to work with her. She was a vice president of communications in '96 and stayed in that role until her retirement in 2014, crafting the company's media strategy and helping orchestrate its groundbreaking launch events. Also responsible for those launch events, which now have become an absolute industry standard. Or in some cases, the industry has failed to replicate what Apple was capable of creating with launch events. She worked behind the scenes as a champion of Apple's brand and famously protected Jobs through his health decline. This is all interesting stuff. Honestly, I don't know the extent of what she worked on specifically, but we know about Apple's media mastery. We know, as you mentioned, about their marketing. We know about their events. Launch events in store. We also know about their keynotes, how famous their keynotes are. I wonder to what extent she may have been involved in the production of those things.
Yeah, their keynotes really set them apart. And there's other companies that really tried to kind of copy it, but they've always been on their own caliber. So, yeah, apparently she passed peacefully.
It's interesting. She wasn't that old as well. I believe she was still in her 50s. So, first of all, I don't know if that's in this realm, if that's an early retirement. I presume it is. And then so you do wonder if there was an ongoing sort of health condition or what might be going on. There's nothing more shared than that. She did have kids as well. Obviously, thoughts go out to them. And, somebody connected to our industry probably played a pretty big role there.
Yeah.
Some people might not know that. This clip you just watched is sponsored by LaterCase. If you have been looking for an impossibly thin case to put on your brand new smartphone, you need to check out LaterCase, available for both Android and iPhone. Check the description of this clip in order to get a special offer.